So I have, let's call camera A the main camera. So I try to look at camera A, but it's kind of difficult because I'm trying to manage, multiple things at once. So I'm trying to look at the sleep because I got the sleeper info on the right screen.
Mario, you're in over your head with this shit, dude. You've gone too far down the fucking rabbit hole,
No, well,
man.
I've already committed to, I've already recorded like 10 episodes. I have last year's. I've gone through multiple iterations of feedback sessions. I actually hired a consultant. I'm like $100,000 in debt actually because of
Holy
that.
shit,
So it's gonna
dude.
be a sick ass podcast next year though. Only gonna
It's
have
all
one
gonna be worth it.
episode. We're only gonna have one episode. The whole league will be on it, and everyone will
Just
just get to roast me the whole time. It's gonna be the most popular
blow the
episode.
budget on one giant roast of Mario.
That's the only way that people will actually watch the whole thing end to end.
Dude,
So
yeah.
yeah, well, welcome to the show, Andy. I've been recording for the last minute and a half, so I like to
I,
record without your consent.
I listen to podcasts. I'm always on, so I was
So
ready.
that's a cold open. So today we're gonna keep it light, keep it easy. I don't really care what happens. If people watch it, great. If people don't watch it, I don't really care.
If people don't watch this, I'm gonna lose my fucking shit, dude.
I will say I can quickly look up the stats here. Perhaps I can give you a barometer of what to expect in terms of your viewership.
Oh,
So quickly, if this is your first time watching this show, that we do a podcast where we talk about a fantasy football league that 10 people are in, soon to be 12. Um,
oh yeah, that's exciting.
so that'll be cool. We have 8 subscribers, pretty good. 15 videos. And let's see here. How do I go? This is clearly
So there's
going
not
well.
even as many subscribers right now as there are people in the league.
Correct.
And you're $100,000 in debt for this shit.
Yeah. Uh huh. Uh huh. And that doesn't include any of the equipment that I bought that I may or may not have financed using a high interest credit card.
Yeah. It's only 20% interest.
Yeah, is that good? Is that a good interest rate? My
I
my
don't know
banker told me
anymore.
it was. He told me to sign up for 5 different ones. He said it's standard operating procedure. Is that not right?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was in high school.
You're like, I don't know. I don't care. So yeah, so we'll go over why I'm running the beer mile. Well, correction, why I'm running a
What?
lap in the beer mile.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, so I ran the numbers, the
Let's go.
figures, if you will, and it didn't go well for me. I think I like tried to. It's like when you play like basketball with like your 12-year-old cousin, and you're just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna let you win, and then they beat you, and then you're like, fuck, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Dude, I had a cousin that could hit like fadeaway jump shots, and I had like 3 feet on him.
Somehow I'm not surprised by you getting schooled by like a 12-year-old in basketball. It just checks out.
Dude, I'm not much of a basketball guy.
Do you dribble like Stanley, like where you got the
Stanley?
Stanley from The Office? Sorry, I should have
Oh,
clarified
yes.
that.
Yeah. Basically, dude, I got laid out by a kid that was a lot bigger than me when I was playing like little league basketball at PCA. And I just remember he just like set a pick and I was like going to like lay up or something. And I was like, this is my moment. This is where everything changes for Andrew in basketball. And dude, my head like smacked the court and people were like, oh. And I got up and I may or
I'm
may not
fine.
have been like, I'm okay, I'm okay. And afterwards, I was like, Dad, I don't want to play basketball. And he was like, Andrew, you don't have to play basketball after that.
He's like, I'm
Like, nobody
embarrassed.
wants to
All the
see
other
you play
parents are calling me,
basketball.
asking me if they should call CPS. Like,
Yeah.
well, it's for some reason, I don't know why, but my first memory is actually very similar, but of playing basketball, not first memory in general. First memory ever. I think I was like 9 or 10, and I had never made a basket before. Like I was
Yeah,
just like too weak to like get the ball to the hoop. I may have been
classic.
younger. I don't know. I was a bitch. Anyway, I couldn't get the basket to the hoop, and then one day I went to like a church gym and I like shot it and it like went in the first time, and I was like, I'm a fucking athlete.
Felt
This
on
is
top
this
of the
is who I
world.
am now. Yeah, and then it was all downhill from there. To recap, bring it all back full circle, and this actually, you actually have the highest viewed video in TCL podcast history. 32 views, no comments. Actually, yeah, and you have 5 likes on that one. Damn, so I should just be having you on every week.
I did text the episode to my parents and I was like, "Hey, I'm on a podcast." And I mentioned both of you. So,
They're like, why is your friend racist?
yeah. I don't know. It's not a popularity contest, but if it was,
Yeah,
my
so
parents helped me win.
no, that reminds me though. The second highest viewed video was actually a like the episode, like the preseason one where I like explained like how the lottery was gonna work and all that. You probably didn't even watch it.
No.
But some random person who I don't know commented on it, and at first I was like, "Who is this?" So let me read you their comment, if I can find
Dude,
it.
are they gonna watch this episode?
Maybe not. No, that's a
This is
different
your
one.
first listener shout out.
It was like a legitimately like a non TCL member. No,
This
that
would be
wasn't
cool.
it. No, I'm trying to find
Just
it. It was just a random dude,
organic
and he, you know what he
traffic.
said? No, it was for the
What?
lot. It was for the draft lottery actually, and he said, literally, this is the quote: "Watch the Dr. Kent Hovind creation seminar ASAP. We only have football because of God's grace. Love y'all. Happy drafting." I'm not even fucking kidding. That's a real comment. So
Dude,
shout out
okay.
to illphil82 yo. Three
Okay.
months
Okay.
ago. Do you know this
I
person?
No, no, I wish. Well, maybe I do. Maybe
Oh,
it's using a
shit.
pen name. We should make fucking shirts with that comment on it, dude. I would wear the hell out of that.
Oh my god. My favorite part personally is love y'all happy drafting. Like he was still involved with, hey,
Oh,
appreciate your draft lottery and you had that production value and all that.
I love
Oh
you too,
god.
Ill Phil.
Dude, I should have hearted it. I'm gonna heart it right now. So shout out Ill Phil. You'll be on a T-shirt, and we'll make money off you. By the way, should
Cool.
we start a merch store for next year?
Dude, I think you need to just give me your credit card number and let me just ramp this thing into the stratosphere, dude.
I
There's no
I
telling
mean
how much
you
money you're gonna make.
you are my cash cow when it comes to viewership. So shout out to all the
Dude,
viewers that we're gonna get from this episode.
everybody's gonna turn it off right after you said that out of protest.
Well, it's too late. I already got their viewership by this point. We're already 5 minutes, or we're already 8 minutes in. The video should already be over by this point to optimize viewership because we live in 2023 where children can't be bothered to watch a video more than 8 minutes. They're
All
like
right, okay.
boring. Um, yeah. So I guess this is as good a chance as any to tell you that the final standings of the league pick'em, which are were hodgepodge together on the back end. So I apologize to everyone for not being an even number. We picked a total of 90 games. So I picked everybody in the league picked one, picked games, and that led to me picking at a total record of 43-47, which is
Okay.
not bad. If you're betting, that's pretty good.
43 correct and 47 wrong.
That
Okay.
also includes TCL matchups, which you can't bet on technically. Wish you could though. We'll talk about that here in a minute. And the whole league together, 46-44.
Ooh,
So I lost by a total of 3 games. So I will
close.
run the beer mile first lap only, with whoever has to run the beer mile, which we'll talk about here in a moment.
Are you gonna do the beer for the lap? You have to, right?
Oh yeah, of of course. But I'll probably have to like do a prayer beforehand too, just to like kind of even it out.
Naturally. I think we should do a prayer circle beforehand, regardless.
I don't want to curse anything, but I'm hoping that there will be a good and bad with running the beer mile. Maybe I'll be carrying the trophy in my other hand and running with it. So I'm sure a lot of people would love to see me not do that. Just people preying on
Probably.
my downfall.
I can probably name 9 people that don't want to see it.
Wait, you too? Uh, yeah. So what did you think of the last? Let's do it. Let's instead of talking about fantasy football, we'll have a good 10-minute segment talking through the scenarios for the last week of the season. I know we played each other this last week. How'd you feel this season? I feel like you made a vast improvement this year.
Dude, I put my heart and soul into this season, like I do every season. This is the only thing I focus on. It keeps me up at night.
You're
It's
just
the only
roster baiting.
way I can,
Do you know about
yeah,
roster baiting?
I don't, but I can imagine it's just what, edging to the fucking waiver wire.
I mean, no, you don't edge, you finish. Uh,
Okay. This is a family show, Mario.
yeah, finish your homework. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Of no, well, it's just it's just a term for like you just basically look at your roster and you're just like, oh, I could do this, and
Oh,
then
just
maybe,
like so excited about it.
or you're just like planning. You spend 10 hours researching like a bunch of people who you're never gonna pick up, but imagining what they could do if you picked them up, and then they score 100 points and you win the game or whatever.
Yeah, dude, see, okay, here's the thing with my season is I think everybody that listen, viewers at home know that fantasy football is a fucking crapshoot. It's not, I don't know. There's some skill there, but I'm the type of guy who relies heavily on the estimated numbers
Uh
that
huh.
the sleeper app will give you. And I am angry every week because I feel like a lot of times I'm estimated to win. And I was estimated to beat you this
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah.
It did not work out. So I don't know. I think I picked up Dobbs off the waiver wire and
Which a
like
good a
that
good
randomly
pickup. That's a
that
good
was a
pickup.
like randomly amazing because I saw Nick the next day and he was like, "Did you see that?" Or maybe it was you that like, "Oh, Dobbs is going to be starting for the Vikings now and stuff." And I was like, "I just looked like a genius and I did that completely by accident."
Well, I think no, I think it was me because I initially told you how. Oh yeah, the reason he's available is because Kyler Murray's coming back and he's not gonna play
Yes.
anymore. And you were like,
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
"Fuck!" And
And I was
then
like, "God
literally the
damn it."
next day he gets traded to be a starter because the Vikings quarterback got hurt and so they needed somebody. And so honestly, that's been the story of this NFL season is just a bunch of teams losing their quarterback and have to play like the AJ Soprano and whoever else on their team. Have you heard about
Is
that?
Aaron Rodgers back or no?
He technically, but uh, I don't think so. I think his whole deal, and this is just my theory, and maybe he will get
Hmm.
canceled for this, is he is just trying to like come off of like IR so that he can say that he didn't follow like modern medicine and like he knows more than like doctors because he didn't take the vaccine. That's just my theory.
Bro, what is the NFL anymore?
It's your AI generated background. Which can we
Dude, yeah.
just can we just talk about this for a second? Because you explained this to me off air, how
Off
this
air.
how this
Yeah.
came about. But why don't you walk the viewers at home how you created this masterpiece?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know about this. I actually put my good friend Nick on this. There's this thing called Chat GPT. And
He'd never heard of it before you.
no, it blew his
He was
mind,
like
frightened into
a
tears.
what?
He said, "This is devil magic. Get this out of my face." And I said, "Whatever." But basically, I put in a prompt at first some kind of Joker background. I think it was gonna. I tried to. No, that's not it. I tried to prompt it to make a background of the Joker arm wrestling the Fox uh robot, the NFL robot,
Oh,
and it
what's
was
his name?
not good.
Cletus.
I I didn't know it had a
He has
name
a
on.
name. It's Cletus.
And it was like cannot use like licensed content or whatever. And I was like, I like tried to tweak it, and I just finally gave up. And I was like, give me a fantasy football movie poster, and it gave me something like this, and I was like, needs more angel Jesus-y babies. And so I said, put cherub angels in it. And then like I tried to push it even further, like down the Jesus angle, and it just like it had like Jesus standing next to the football player, also holding a football with like a cross on it. I don't know. It sounds kind of cool now
It
that I'm
actually does
describing
sound
it, but it
sick.
wasn't. I don't know. It didn't hit like this one did. Also, it's like it's reversed, but it says like Texas Champions League. Like, and I was like, oh, it got all the text right. So
No, it did get the text right. Well, some of their faces don't necessarily look the greatest, but
no,
if
our
you
league is
want,
not nearly this diverse.
if you have the full image, send it to me, and I will make it the new cover photo for the channel.
Dude, please, honestly, we should make the shirt have like this on the front and on the
And then
back
on the
have the
back,
quote from that guy, like one of those like metal shirts or
yes,
something.
yes, okay, so done, and I'll yes. No, I want this. I need more. I need to get better at AI generated images because this. At first, I'll be honest. At first, I thought each player kind of in like represented a different member of the league, and I really wanted this little baby angel here on the top right to be Maishin. I don't know why. I just really
One of
wanted.
them does look like my shit a little bit.
This
It
one
was
kind
kind
of
of
look.
funny.
This one right here without the face mask kind of looks like you. Like it's like a 9 year old. It's like 10-year old Andrew. It's like going into sixth grade Andrew.
Dude,
And
this
then
one looks like Billy Crystal or something. The
well, it's
baby
creepier
angel.
because it's like a baby body, but it's like a 45-year-old Billy Crystal head. It's like, wait, why is he so old?
I don't know, man. I
Uh,
don't know how it works. It's devil
so
magic.
yeah, shout out to Nick too for finally figuring out what AI is. It's pretty cool. Generative
Oh,
AI, Nick. If you ever want to talk about it, I can teach you all about it too. It's not a big deal. Um,
Mario knows a thing or two. He's like $100,000 in debt with all of this recording
yeah,
equipment.
hey, shout out
So,
to my McKinsey consultant too, who made a hell of a PowerPoint. Um, so shout out to Greg. Uh, okay, so so I have some awards to hand out from last
oh
week.
shit.
So these are you're familiar with the start, bench, and manager of the week.
Yes,
Okay,
I've seen those words on the app.
yeah, that was really convincing. Um, quickly, uh, start of the week this week goes to Tony for starting Geno Smith. I think he didn't really have a choice to start Geno Smith, but Geno Smith, he plays for the Seahawks. He did really good against the Cowboys on Thursday, and because of that, he won against Aaron 162 to 130, and now he is in the play squarely in the playoff race
Oh, really?
because that basically that helped him win, and so now his record goes to 6-7, and Aaron dropped to 6-7. So we'll talk about that here in a second. But we have four teams all tied with the same record at 6-7, and only three spots left in the playoffs. Drama and going into the last week of the season.
Spicy, dude.
Speaking of drama, here's the bench of the week, the dud of the week, if you will. And that goes
I
to
will.
our angel baby, sweet baby Maish, who he sat a combination of three different players. Last week, actually, he had the same thing where he sat a player that scored like 30 points and he lost. and then he did it again this week with different players and lost again, I believe. This
Sweet,
time,
sweet angel baby, when will you get your head out of the clouds?
he, I still want to make it known that for the second year in a row, Meison's team has the number one scoring in points. So like that's you know how you were talking about luck earlier. That's
Yeah,
not luck. You have to like pick the right players, have the right starts, all that. But yet
but
somehow,
that's the luck part. That's the part that matters.
somehow, he just has found a way to lose again.
Well,
Uh,
maybe if the league was like based on like points and not wins, he would be crushing,
right,
is what it sounds like.
he would be a perennial champion. He'd be Tom Brady. But unfortunately, we live in a world that's built on capitalism, Andrew. So winning is the only thing that matters,
Hell
as
yeah,
well as
dude.
capital.
Fuck yeah.
Uh, hey, there wouldn't be capitalism without God's grace. Also, I just want to make that known.
Yeah, you don't
Um,
have to tell me.
so shout out to Sweet Baby Mish for the bench of the week. He's got to have a record for most benches of
Baby
the week.
angel Maisha.
And for the first time ever, I'm actually going to give it to myself this time because I deserved it. 189 points, 100% start accuracy. Your manager of the week is yours truly. And I had to take you
Very
down as a
proud of you.
result, but you know, I had to bring out the big guns against you. You know, it was just not a lot of. After CeeDee Lamb had 32 points, he had more points than Dak Prescott did.
I know.
I was like, oh great, perfect. I'm gonna lose to Andrew. Second to last week of the season. This is
Okay.
gonna
All
look
right.
good.
Let's tap the brakes on the tone here. Jesus Christ, dude. I get so much shit in this fucking league. And I fucking finish middle of the pack every year. No.
Hey, let's slow down in the every year, but this year doing
Last year
pretty
and this
good.
year. Um, and you said you were using like one of those AI apps that like help you like set lineups and stuff, right?
Yeah. So I have a second McKinsey consultant setting my lineup every week, so that's why I'm in first place. So that's money well spent.
I like the
That one
idea of
cost a
you
little bit
hiring,
more.
yeah, the idea of you hiring McKinsey to set your fantasy lineup. That's
To
some true like reckless like I don't know. That's hilarious.
Yeah, well, I have to go. One, I have to go into extreme credit card debt to do it. An absurd amount, a number you couldn't even imagine that number, Andrew.
I bet I
Um,
couldn't. I went to art
my
school.
credit limits are insane. But also to win a league that has a max winnings of like $800 or something like
Yeah,
that.
you're gonna get it all back with $800.
Actually, this is as good a time as any as we transition to remind everyone of how much you can win. Let me pull it up because I don't remember. First place gets $800. Second place, $200. And third place gets their money back. So if you finish third place, you at least get your $100 back.
Yeah, because we
So
upped the buy-in this year.
800, like that's like a month's rent
Yeah,
for some people. Not
that's
me.
pretty good. All right.
That won't pay off that McKinsey consultant though, unfortunately. So, do you want to go over some playoff scenarios?
Sure, man.
Whatever. You're like, whatever. It's your show. I don't care. Dude,
I
you're
had this
doing
whole
me a
idea,
favor by being here.
dude. I had this whole idea that I was like gonna come in and I was gonna basically just try and like manhandle the show away from you and like start like firing questions at you, like putting you in the fucking hot seat and
Go
stuff.
ahead. I don't care.
And then I just life got in the way.
Well, Jesus. I don't know why I got so serious.
No, I'm starting a new job. That's what I mean.
Oh, that's
Been a
okay.
busy
Well,
guy.
no, that's fair. No, I think I had an idea in my head that this would go like, are you familiar with Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast?
No,
Uh, it's like Marketplace meets TCL Podcast.
that means I don't even know what that means.
No, it's just Shane Gillis and some other comedian who I don't know, and they just literally talk about the stupidest shit possibly you could ever imagine. So that's how I always pictured these episodes going, but then there was too much structure, and I was having like I planned too much, to the point
Yeah,
where it was kind of like robotic and predictable and not really that entertaining, and so I just don't care anymore. So if you want
just
to
gotta
watch it,
ride the
great.
wave, dude.
Yeah, if you want to watch it, great. If you don't, I don't really care. Um, so that means I'm gonna have like 50 views on this, by the way. Um, so week 13 came and went, and we've made it all the way to the second to last week of the season. So I guess let me ask you this before we jump into all this. With your loss, you're at 5-8. You have an outside shot at making the playoffs. If I look at
Hmm.
um, I have a little odds thing here. So while I vamp for this, what's your thought process going into the last week of the year? How are you feeling? If you're in the beer mile tournament, how are you feeling about your odds of making it out alive? Or are you finally going to get what you've always deserved?
I don't. I will say, I feel like I've been one of the people that's been consistently listening to this show, and I feel like everybody's gotten on the podcast, and you're like, "Who's gonna run the beer mile?" And everybody's like,
Andrew,
"Andy." I'm like,
you had a little pause there too. Usually there's not a pause. Usually
yeah.
oh, it's Andy.
They're like, I know what I'm gonna say when I get on the show later.
They got it ready.
They say it's me or you, and the worst part is it's like if I put myself in anybody else's shoes, I'd probably want to see me do it too. Like I agree that me or you would be probably one of the funniest.
It'd be pretty
I,
entertaining because we'd sell it. We're like entertainers. It's like WWE. You're part of it. It's just the show.
yeah, I guess so.
Quick update right now. You have a 4% odds of making the playoffs, so you're still not technically
4%.
eliminated. The only
So they're
person
saying there's
eliminated
a
is Jory.
chance.
There is a chance, and according to my statistics here, you have a less than 1% chance of being the champion.
It says who?
Uh,
The computer?
yeah, computer math models, AI. I asked ChatGPT. I inputted the standings, and that's what it spit out.
Less
Uh,
than 1%.
Less than one
That's
percent.
crazy. Because you know what history remembers, right?
The one
Comeback.
person. Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
The 1%, yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know where you were going with that.
It's taking an Occupy Wall Street angle in the
Oh,
middle of
okay.
the show.
Now,
No,
see, I was on. I
I'm not
was
gonna
on.
win,
I was on the
probably.
Wall Street team back then. So
We know.
no, back
Um,
then I was definitely on the team that was like trying to tear down that bull statue. Is it the same guys?
no, dude.
Have you ever been there, by the way? Have you seen that statue?
The statue in New York
Yeah, where it's like
on
the
Wall Street?
yeah.
No. I went to New York when I was a kid,
You,
and
you haven't been since?
no, I remember buying Pokemon cards at a bodega, and I remember getting yelled at by a cab driver for holding the money I used to buy the Pokemon cards. He was like, "Hey, put that money away. This is New York. People would take that money out of your hands."
Oh, he was
Scared the
looking
shit
out
out
for
of me.
you.
Oh, he was
You're
being really
dumb, and
nice.
your dumb ass just like, I didn't even get a Charizard. What the
Yeah.
fuck? I don't know what's in Pokemon cards. Is that a real Pokemon?
Charizard? You're
Yeah.
asking me on your podcast if Charizard is a real Pokemon. Next question.
I'm
I'm
an
not answering that.
I'm an adult, Andrew. All right,
Okay.
so I beat you in that matchup. Let's move on for that one. So we did say Maish lost, so he went to 6-7. Jory continues his revenge tour after he traded one player on his team for his entire new roster. He actually has a 0% chance of winning the championship. Just an FYI.
That's gotta feel kind of liberating though. Just like I'm just here to ruin other people's
That's
chances.
I know I'm not supposed to mention it, but in his league, I'm actually playing the exact same role. I have a slight chance still, but I'm pretty much you in that league in terms of odds of actually making it. So I'm just trying
Yeah.
to ruin it for everybody else.
So you're telling me that Jory, like, he's the Joker of our league, basically. Like he just wants to see the world burn.
Yeah, he's the Joker when he's wearing that female nurse's outfit, and
Yeah.
and who's in the hospital? Is it Harvey? Harvey
Harvey
Dent
Dent.
is in the
That was
hospital.
when he became Two-Face.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sick ass, sick. That
You know
was
Harvey Dent, but you don't know Charizard from Pokemon? This is
no. I was
bullshit.
being facetious. Of course, I know who Charizard is. Uh, so that was a tough break for Maish because now he's 6-7. So his update, he has an 88% chance of still making the playoffs.
Another
So
victim of the Joker. I like it.
only a
Sorry.
16% chance to be champion though.
16
So
sounds
he's got
pretty
a
good
decent.
when you've got a less than 1%
Yeah,
chance.
when you're less than one, it honestly feels like it's a foregone conclusion. So the next matchup was Taylor. He lost to Grant 184 to 178. This one was a real barn burner, as they say. That means a lot of points got scored. Uh, and he lost, but he did good. And so he keeps himself alive as he's 6-7. So since there's four teams tied with the same record, it comes down to points scored. So that helped him because he scored a shit ton of points. So that's good for Taylor. So I'm sure you're really happy for him.
Very happy for Taylor.
The Communist Party's number one fantasy football players got a 79% odds to make the playoffs, 8% odds to be the champion. So
Is-
a little bit less than Maish.
Okay.
Next, I have Nick versus Joe. This was a close one too. Joe beat Nick 152-140. Pretty much all but sealed Nick is going to miss the playoffs. He has a 16% odds to make it. So better than yours. But he has a 1% chance of being the champion. So not much better than you. So next time you see him, I just want you to remind him that you basically are the same team.
You and me were the same.
So next year, when if he tries to like bully you about his fantasy football knowledge or gambling knowledge or anything, just be like, dude, we finished exactly the same in TCL. So I don't know why. He should be getting advice from you, honestly.
I don't know. I could see Nick pulling something crazy out. He's
It, we will cover
lock
that
in
here in a
that
second.
laser focus. I don't know.
The last one is everyone's favorite fantasy team, but their own. In the last year of their existence, Busty Lads, 162 over Fabby Baby 130. So
Oh, because he said he's changing the name?
yeah, because remember he's trying to do a Washington Redskins thing where he's like changing the name because woke culture got to him or whatever. It gets to everybody eventually.
Oh man. We used to be a country, dude.
We used to be a proper country. Bussy Latinas has a 53% odds of making the playoffs. So pretty close. Like pretty much should make it. 5% odds of being the champion. Filling in the gaps here. Sports Panties, Bucker, I Hardly Know Her, and To Infinity and Bijan have all clinched playoff spots. So pretty much locked in there. 100% odds for the playoffs. Zonka is again. Maish has an 88% chance of making the playoffs. Taylor, the 79% odds. Aaron has 60% odds. So that's the closest one between him and Tony, 60% and 53%. Nick has an outside shot but needs a lot of help. You have an outside shot but need a lot of help as well. So
Oh
Are
man,
you looking at these matchups for this week? Do you have those pulled up?
no,
What are you even looking
not at
at?
all. I was watching Modern Family before I came in.
Oh, I saw a funny Modern Family clip, which is like the first time that's ever happened, because that show's not funny.
I don't understand your hate for this show.
It's just it's not good, okay? And maybe you can drop people if you're watching this, drop a comment as to why Modern Family is good, but I don't think it is.
I just I it's got redeeming jokes. I will say, dude, some of that stuff on there does not age well.
Oh,
They
I'm
say,
sure.
dude, they say some spicy stuff and they're like all over the map sometimes. And it's like Emily and I are watching, we're on like season like 6 or something. And you can tell like one of the good writers might have left or something, and they will say some out of pocket things. Like a
Oh,
lot of like the siblings like flirting with each other or something, like
like
weird,
oh,
gross stuff,
I
and
don't.
then just like really like racist things too, dude. It's spicy.
Well, season six, if I am looking here, according to IMDb, was in 2014. So that was the height of everyone's racism.
Yeah, this is right before the
Before Orange Man Bad.
yes, or Orange Man bad.
We still had Obama, so we could pretty much say anything. And we're like, we're not racist. What do you mean? Look at our
Chill
president.
out.
Come
Oh
on.
my God. All right. I don't want to go down this road. This is all being put on YouTube.
Yeah, you're right. Let's go through the matchups here because, as I mentioned, you have a 4% chance to make the playoffs. How you ask? Well, you got to beat
Yeah.
Tony in your matchup as you face Tony.
Easy.
Uh, it's going to be interesting. I think you might have some trouble. You might finally your illogical holding of Zeke Elliott might pay off for you because he's the number one waiver wire pickup this week. By the way, I don't know if you knew that.
All calculated according to plan.
Big brain Andy. God, dude, if I really need Zeke Elliott to have like a 35-point game because if you beat Tony and somehow Aaron also loses, and I think that's how it would play out. Is Aaron has to lose and Tony loses, and then you have to score enough points where you outscore them, which would require you outscoring them by like over 100 points. Not impossible, but can't, very unlikely. Then my prediction that you and Maishin will play each other in the semifinal of the Texas Champions League could still come
Still
true.
alive.
It's still alive until at least for another week. Don't know if I put money on it. Give me
Yeah.
if I'm setting odds, Nick. If you're listening, I'll take bets. I'll give you plus 650 on Andy to beat Tony, and plus 1,000 on him to make the playoffs.
Oh my God.
Actually, make
So
that
much.
plus 5,000. Um,
You
speaking
heard it
of
here first.
speaking of um, other matchups. So Aaron has to face the second place team, Grant. By the way, what's your take on Aaron's team thus far this year? Are you rooting for his demise, or are you rooting for him as the defending champion?
I wish Aaron all the best.
I'm gonna tell him that tomorrow. Like, yeah, Andy told me that he hopes your team all dies. I don't know what he meant. I don't know what he meant by that, but
Uh, dude. Oh yeah. I mean, he already won. Fuck Aaron.
yeah, I have a bone to pick with him because Nick bullied me into starting. I didn't want to start a defense against you because of strategy reasons. Full disclosure. I didn't think I was like willing to just lose if I didn't start one. Um, but
I don't understand that strategy.
so the reason why is because the defense that I currently have is
Oh, you
way
didn't want to
better,
drop them.
but I didn't want to drop them, so I had to
Okay.
drop somebody else as a result, and it was basically like everyone was on a bye week, so I either had to. There was no alternatives for me. Basically, I had to drop a startable player or just not start a defense, and
So you just
so
ate the bye.
well, yeah. Well, I tried to hold on. I didn't want to drop that defense because they're going to be more valuable in the playoffs and stuff. But Nick said that he threatened it. He never showed me the evidence, but he said he had evidence that I said at one point that you had to start a player every week, no matter what. Um, so I tried to fight the controversy and I bit the bullet, and then I wish Gabe Davis well on Aaron's team.
Oh man, that's very
But
dramatic.
yeah, so I waited until I tried to do this too, like sneakily. I literally waited until 3 minutes before the noon game started, thinking everyone will have their lineups already set. They're not gonna like pick anybody up, and then like literally within 1 minute he got picked up. So it's pretty sweet. So hope he scores 0 points for you, Aaron. Um, and you lose to Grant, who is technically projected to win, but it's a toss up. So if Aaron wins that one, I would say he's probably, if not for sure, locks in a playoff spot. So that's a huge game for him. The other one, Nick, is facing Jory. Jory, of course, playing the role of spoiler, the Joker, as you mentioned. Nick, uh, Nick's team is kind of down bad right now. I don't know what to. He needs one of his best players actually playing the Broncos this week, so it's gonna be hilarious. Where he's like rooting for him but not rooting for him, and yeah, should be fun. Let me see if he's got anything else. No, so looks pretty bleak for our pal Nick. So good luck next year, Nick, and good luck in the beer mile tournament. Don't really have much hope for you looking at this matchup. Um, to update, yeah, Nick has a 16% playoff odds, so he has to win, and then he needs Tony to lose, Aaron to lose, and probably Taylor to lose also. That's the other matchup. So this was the other very interesting one. Taylor versus Maish. Winner is basically for sure in the playoffs. Loser is left up to the gods. Who are you picking in this matchup of Titans?
Taylor versus Maishin.
They have a 50% projection each. So like right now it's like about as even as it could get.
Well, I was poring over the data. I built an entire GPT for this league this year.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
Uh, and basically, uh, I don't know, man. Let's say I hope Taylor gets into the playoffs. He deserves it after messing up his knee.
Yeah, that was pretty
That's
bad,
how I
huh?
base all my decisions.
He's fine now. He's like
Sympathy.
running around and doing stuff.
Yeah,
He's basically normal now.
he wants
So
to play pickleball.
I know.
Thinks he can hang with the
I don't
big
think
boys
he's
just because he's got two knees.
I don't think he's ready, but um, yeah, this one's gonna be interesting because whoever loses will be at the mercy of how the dominoes fall. And you know that on Sundays things like to go awry. So just because the projection shows one thing doesn't mean I would necessarily bank on it. But one thing that's very interesting is almost every matchup is a 50-50 split. Like 50-50, 52-48, 49-51, 51-49. So it should be a very wild Sunday of action.
Wild, wild Sunday.
I am facing Joe. Could be a finals preview, but I might tank on purpose just so Joe gets gets his head gets gets confident, and then beat him in the playoffs. So, since you're on this episode, you get to pick each game for how the playoff standings currently stand and make your prediction for both the champion and the beer mile. Who do you want to? Which one do you want to do first?
All right, say all that again. Okay, wait.
Okay,
I'm thinking
I'm
the
gonna
champ.
tell you the matchup, and then you're
Okay.
gonna say who wins, and then
All right.
we. So
Okay.
we're gonna do the beer mile, and then we're gonna do the playoffs.
All right.
And you're gonna pick your champion and your beer mile champion, or beer
Okay.
mile loser, whatever you want to call it. I call it
Okay.
champion.
It's your league, man.
All right. Well, thanks. All right. Let's do the beer mile first because it's the shorter one. So four teams. Let's assume all four of y'all make it in. No funny business. In the first matchup, it would be Jory versus Tony. And who you got in that one? Jory versus Tony. Round one.
Uh,
That would technically be week 15, so I don't know if that makes a difference to you, but right now, the projections say Jory would win 137, 127,
is
135.
that can you share your screen? I can't pull this up because my phone is dead. Won't email me the code or
Um,
text it to me.
I
It's
can't
fine.
share
Don't
my
worry about it. I
screen.
picked Jory
All
because I
right.
voted for the Joker.
Okay, so you got Jory. So that means Tony moves on to the beer mile final. Okay. Then we have you versus Nick.
Me.
So you lose. No, you
No, I
win.
win.
You win,
Yeah.
and then it's Tony versus Nick in the beer mile final. Loser does the beer mile. Who's doing the beer mile? Go.
I would, dude, I want to see Tony do the beer mile because I want to see him absolutely destroy it. Like, because
we
like, what is it
he's
with
got
the
to do like
girls?
2 miles or something. That I feel like or what's a drink that he could drink that would make it like the same type of sensation where it's like all fizzes up.
I thought we were saying kombucha. That sounds
I
gnarly,
I
right?
never I never heard that, but we do need a contingency in case we can't use beer. But
Yeah,
yeah,
well, I think it was like kombucha or milk. Um, and I think, man, I think I would pick the kombucha over the milk, but I don't
yeah.
know.
I can't not think of that scene in Anchorman where he's just drinking the milk. He's just got like his big old beard. He's like, oh,
Because
so damn hot.
Tony's gonna show up ready to fucking work, dude.
Oh my god. So
He's
you're
gonna
picking
show
Tony to
up
lose against Nick.
just because I want to see it happen. I'm
I,
willing it into the universe.
I think, and this is something I've wanted pretty much since the beginning, since it became a reality that Nick would miss the playoffs, or a possibility, let's say. I want Nick to run the beer mile, and I want to see that, and that's all I want. I don't care about anything else.
Dude, he said in his other league that if you are like past 20 minutes or something, like you have to get a tattoo or some shit.
Well, that seems excessive. I thought Russell last year ran it pretty quickly, and he was like,
That's what I thought.
I
Yeah,
think
it
it
was
was
like
like
22 minutes, wasn't it?
yeah, it was not that crazy a time. So I would expect anything below 30 is acceptable. But Aaron did make the claim that he would beat that time if he had the opportunity. So um, let's assume that Aaron sneaks his way out of it this year, which he may not, as his odds of making the playoffs are only 60%. So we'll see. Let's pick the playoff game, shall we?
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay. So the first one is going to be a rematch of Maish versus Taylor, which would actually be pretty hilarious if that worked out that way. Because Taylor would technically move up in the standings, but not move up in terms of seeding, so he'd still end up playing him.
So they would play each other again,
It would be like
like
it would
back
be
to
like
back
the
week.
equivalent of like if they were real football teams, like Taylor goes to Maishin Stadium for the last week of the season, beats him in his stadium, and then he gets to host the game at his stadium the next week.
Damn.
So Taylor versus Maish, round 2, who wins?
I think Maishin takes it.
Oh wow! So Maishin moves on to the semifinal to take on myself.
I think Maishin loses his mind and like roster baits for like 2 days straight to like make sure that he has like exactly what he needs.
Yeah, and I mean, that may be the I would personally say he should just not look at his lineup at all until like Sunday, because maybe that's been his demise this whole time. Question mark.
Just over, yeah, overthinking it.
Maybe so. Maybe so. All right. So Maishin moves on to face myself. In the other matchup, you have Aaron versus Joe Wise. Joe Wise, heavy favorite, 146 to 133 in this projection. Who you got in that one?
I'm gonna go with the computer.
All right. I think that's probably a safe bet. So that means in the semifinal, it would be a goo matchup versus a non-goo matchup, let's call it, for lack of copyright infringement and also to keep us safe both in our jobs. Myself versus Maish. I don't have the projection here because it doesn't show that, but who you got? Me versus Maish. Winner goes to the championship. Careful, you're being recorded.
Maishin wants it so bad.
And I don't? No,
Just
pick Maishin. Pick him.
no. I pick you. I pick you.
Yeah, if you were putting money on it, let's look at it
And
this way.
for the viewers at home, if it's not just like blaringly obvious, these are all just from the hip fucking
No, this is literally your words are going in God's ear. So
all
what
right.
you say goes. Unless you pick me to lose in the final, in which case, wrong. All right, so you got Grant versus Joe Wise in the other semifinal. This one could go either way, in my opinion. Who are you picking in this one?
Grant versus Joe Wise.
And base it fully on their episode of the TCL podcast.
I think I missed Grant's episode, so I have to go with Joe. Or was it
Oh,
the other way around? I don't know. Joe.
were you the one that thought that Joe was Grant and Grant was Joe?
Yeah.
I think that was it. I think it might have been Aaron. I think Aaron told me that. He was like, I thought that guy was Joe the whole time.
That I don't know. I'm in that boat with him.
You're like, I don't know,
I'm
man.
sorry, guys.
They all look the same. All right, so then that would mean it would be myself versus Joe in the championship. And again, you're on record. Who's winning the championship in your
Joe.
estimation?
Joe.
All right, cool. There you have it, folks. Joe is winning the championship, and Tony is running the beer mile. And this may be the most disappointing year of TCL yet. So if I could get you to generate some AI imagery of Joe Wise as the champion and Tony running the beer mile, and I can have that on
It
my
can't
desk by
do
8 a.m. tomorrow, that'd be great.
I can't give it a picture. It doesn't like doing it because I tried to put myself as the Joker.
So you're telling me you, UX designer extraordinaire, can't just do a simple Photoshop of your head on there?
I can, but I don't want to.
I need you to put forth the effort.
All right, I gotta go.
All right. You have any parting thoughts for everyone? Just so everyone knows, I think we'll do one more episode after the first week of the playoffs. Maybe I don't really
Is that gonna
care.
be the party episode?
Yeah, we'll do a party episode. Probably have like 4 or 5 of you on here. If you want to do it and you're watching, like email me Mario@hotmail.com. Um, No, I'm just kidding. You guys have my email because I send you the invite for this. So, yeah, if you want to do it, great. Let me know. I'd be happy to have a
Um,
5-person call on here.
put me down for one of the spots.
All right. Sounds good. So, Andrew, actually, you know what we'll do is we can have, depending on how it works out, maybe we can have like 2 beer mile participants and then 2 playoff participants.
Ah,
So that way,
interesting.
I don't know what that will do, but we'll do something. We'll probably just,
Something's gonna happen.
I mean, we can, you want to like look at like weird videos on YouTube or anything before you go?
Yeah, show me what you got. Ow, click that guy's account and see what he's watching.
Oh, dude, that's a good idea. Okay, hold on. I gotta go, I gotta switch over to the business account here. Yeah, shout out to Phil again. Appreciate you watching. He didn't subscribe though, which kind of pissed me off to be honest.
I mean, hey man, he's just
He's
passing by.
he's just over here
Appreciating
like,
what
hey
you
man,
do.
cool draft lottery. Not gonna subscribe to your channel, but let's see what
Eh,
he's watching. Oh, okay. So we're on. I can't share the screen, but his favorites. Let's go. Let's view the full playlist. So the first one, you'll like this, is a video by Wilson Combat. The title: Your Amendment American Right to Own an AR-15 Rifle. Critical Mass, Episode 71. Um, nice. Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
right?
He also is watching Can Ham's DNA traced back to Noah's son. So that's the guy I think he was talking about. Um, Here's another one. This one is an hour and 4 minutes long. It's called Science Continues, all caps, to verify the Bible. 177,000 views. How to know the age of Earth using the Bible. Okay. And then the like screen, the crap on the picture just says, not what you think. What am I what does that mean?
I do have to say, uh, when I went back home for Thanksgiving, I found this on my like nightstand. Like
In the guest room? Is that a subtle
no,
hint to
in my
you of
bedroom. No, my dad had found it and like he was like, here's some of your old stuff. And so I've had this like mini New Testament Bible on my desk, and I've just been quoting scripture at Emily throughout the work days.
are you like picking good ones or are you just
No, it's just whatever the book opens up
you're like,
to.
okay, and we're reading here Theologians 14:24.
Yeah.
Have you found one that's like chapter 4 verse 20 and then it's like so long that it has a verse 69 also?
No, I'll highlight some of those and I'll text them to you.
Well, here's a good one. The best scientifically proven anti-cancer salad.
Send me that one.
Interesting. Okay. What happens to your body when you eat oatmeal every day?
A lot of fiber, right?
I mean, this thing's all over the place. I mean, this obviously this man's a man of God. So sorry, I didn't mean to assume. Ill Phil, possible man of God, possible woman of God as well. Um,
You're gonna make an enemy of this person. It's not the enemy you
there's
want
no
more.
way they're watching this again unless they see that I somehow was snooping on there. Oh, here's a good one. Preacher at Kanye West service actually brings some heat. Don't know what that means. Might have to watch that later.
Mario,
Um,
don't pretend you're not favoriting all of these videos.
no, I'm literally saving all of them, and I've already subscribed to his channel as well. Um, yeah, man. So, you got anything else for the fans at home before we jet off?
Follow your heart. The fantasy weekly predictions for the matchups are fake. And eat salad to avoid cancer. I don't know. I think that's about it.
All right. Well, thanks for that. Good luck. Good luck with everything. Good luck on the beer mile, and I'll see you on the other side. Ciao.
Ciao.